Hey guys, Rambo here with a full exploration slash walkthrough video for the Wild in Dead Ops Arcade 3. So after you complete round 4, you'll have a little teleporter which brings you to the Wild, which is quite a different playing area for DOA. You have the ability to change your camera 3 different perspectives. Traditional round gameplay, you have 4 perspectives. And you can also flip your camo right on the D-pad as shown on the scoreboard. So over here where I'm shooting is the first possible arcade machine location. There are a total of 5 locations that it can spawn in. That's the first possible location. And on the top and bottom here you're going to see barrels and little boxes that you could open. Sometimes there might be a key in one of these areas or even in one of the barrels, so it's always worth checking in my opinion. And a little disclaimer, this commentary is recorded after the fact. I did this gameplay a couple days ago. Anyways, here's arcade machine location number 2 here to the left. It's a locked door. You got to spend a key, unfortunately. But it does contain a flashlight and a mech in there as well. And key right there that I picked up. So now I have 2 keys. The first key I picked up on round 1. And over here we got a stepping stone pressure plate that I can step on to bring down the lift. And I can use the speed boost to collect whatever's on the lift. In that case, there is a key, so I got key number 3 for myself. Sometimes there's a mech or a tank there, in which case I wouldn't recommend using a speed boost. On co-op, of course, you just have someone sit there and bring it down. Over here is another possible key location spawn to the left. Unfortunately, nothing there in this game, but I have 3 keys. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Also worth knowing that you could boost into that locked room in the bottom left if you're on top of the lift, although it's a bit tricky. Over here is arcade machine location number 3 in the top right, which I'll be hitting here in a moment. Also some boxes that you could break right below this as well, that some people forget to open. So the arcade machine brings us to Silverback Slideways, which is very important to get in the Wild, because it unlocks it as a recurring bonus area later into the game. And right here I got the cloudy blue version. There are 2 other versions, the nighttime sort of lava version, and also background where it's orange clouds in the background, orange sky. So right here I'm taking the upper path. This is the only Slideways version with a guaranteed key spawn. So by taking the upper path and sliding down this, you will get a key, which of course is very good. Also, these Slideways present a good opportunity to build some points, which give you lives and increase your score multiplier, so collecting these coins is very helpful. I believe it gives you 500 points on a 1x multiplier. And I think there's like 60 keys, that would be something. 60 coins in this Slideways. And also these zombie heads in the background, I would recommend shooting as well. A good opportunity to build points by shooting the zombie heads. Not the zombies, the zombie heads. So I'm going to make my way here and explore the Slideways fully. You don't always have to explore it, but there's really no downside to it. If you end up taking a death here, it's not going to count against you. It's not going to take your lives away in your HUD, although it will count as a death on your scoreboard if you cared about such a thing when you press the select or back button. So right there I got the guaranteed nuke spawn. That's why Slideways is also very helpful. There will be usually 1 to 2 extra lives you could get, and 1 to 2 nukes that you could get as well. And of course these boxes which randomly have random items that might help you out. And here's the second extra life location for this Slideways version. And of course, again, it's random in terms of which Slideways you get, so you might be playing and not get this one. So I'm going to miss those 4 gems in the right just because the floggers had bad timing, but that's alright, not really needed. Just showing all the different areas in the Wild, by the way. Regardless of which path you take. So over here we have a first person pickup. It's worth noting in the current build, first person in the Wild doesn't increase your multiplier. Okay, nice key. Key number 5, doing well so far. First person doesn't increase your multiplier in the Wild in the current build, but it does for normal rounds. But it's still helpful to be in first person here in the Wild. It helps you run faster and get from point A to point B quicker. Just, you have a good idea of where the zombie heads are and could navigate this area rather quickly and more safely. Over here we have the exit teleporter. Make sure you don't accidentally step on it unless your intention is to teleport. But I think there are a lot of benefits to exploring the wild. Gonna exit that and enter another first person since it's here, and just clear these zombie heads. Right now I'm thinking maybe there's some keys in these barrels. Always worth shooting it. A low chance you might get a key, but you know, it happens from time to time. So over here next to the dungeon is actually a fourth arcade machine location, tucked away in this little corner. Obviously it's not here in my game, I already had it, but you'll see it there in the corner. It's usually visible in first person mode if you go up close to it, of course, but in top down view you won't be able to see it. You'll only have the button interact, the interact button where it says press X or press square or whatever. So here we got the first deadly dungeon drop in. I'm sort of looking for a possible Margwa or a Fate Stone. Margwas will have sort of the Brutus icon on the minimap in an octagonal room. It's like a white skull. In my games, I have a black square as a Margwa icon. I think it's glitched out for me, or maybe it's an Xbox thing, I don't know. But I didn't see any Margwas there, so I'm getting out of there. So now I'm making my way northeast over to the abandoned temple area. And again, you want to enter this area. Good way to stockpile boost early on. And also unlocks the bonus room for later into the game as well. So I would always, maybe not always, but it's a good idea to drop a nuke, I think, here usually, because you'll be able to get the nuke back in the Kaboom room if you go that route. In this game, I'm actually going to take the left route first. But regardless, I think it's important to eliminate those Megaton zombies quickly. And over here we got a little stepping stone, 2 paths open, suffering and glory. Basically on co-op, you have one guy standing there and the other guy either enters this door that I'm shooting or this left door over here that I'm shooting as well. And it's a 50-50 chance. You got to pick the right door. If you succeed, you get a bunch of good stuff. If you don't, you have some of your armory taken away from you. And I was just pointing at a key chest, by the way. Make sure you don't accidentally open key chests. They're bigger than normal chests. And they're not really worth it unless you're trying to build a high score multiplier, or if it's the later rounds and you know that's really the only usage for keys at that point. So I'm opening, spending my first key on a door there, and again, there's 2 different paths you could take here. Oh, by the way, I'm shooting at arcade machine location number 5, the 5th and final spot right there in the bottom left of this room. So there's 2 paths I could take here, either the top or the left. The top is usually the one I would recommend taking. It lets you explore a lot of different rooms. But in this particular gameplay, I'm going to be taking the left room, and then later on in the video, I'll be showing the upper path as well. But first, I'm going to show this left path, which there's 2 wardens there, so be careful. But I think this left path gets overlooked a lot. And not that it's better, but it's just a faster way to get to the Room of Fate if you have a bunch of keys. As you guys probably noticed, I had 5 keys before I spent anything. So if you have a bunch of keys like that, it's a good way to get to the Room of Fate ASAP. But again, you're going to miss out on certain dungeons, which means you're missing out on Margwas in the early rounds. Maybe some of you want to restart if you don't get a Margwa in one of your dungeons, if you're only looking to play to 64, let's say. So I think typically the upper path is better. But, you know, it's not the end of the world if you take the left path either, because you will be able to get the stuff in the upper path later on into the game after the round 37 wild, or 36 wild. So just making my way up over to the left, I hit a chest up above just a second ago. There's usually a zombie head spawn down here and a key chest right below it. The key chest is probably not worth the effort that I'm going through right now to clear these zombies, but I'm just going to do it anyways to show it for the sake of the video. So I collected a chest. Now I'm going to make my way north, and there's going to be a flogger here. A free life right under the flogger. Sometimes these floggers are a bit unpredictable. They could kill you while inactive, maybe get to dress at some point, but typically you want to err on the side of caution. I went through the side. I think that might be a safe way to do it. And there's also a zombie head spawn up ahead, shot at. Also some little barrels down here you could shoot. The thing about going this side of the wild is there's very few opportunities for keys. So that's why you want to go here usually if you only have a bunch of keys on you, because you might just end up hitting a dead end and not being able to open anything. So over here we got the Nova Crawlers and some spikes that could kill you. You're forced into first person perspective here, and I got a key spawn, nice. And over here we have the Blightfather underboss, which you don't see again until round 37 in the normal rounds. And in this gameplay, he ends up kicking my ass a couple times. I ended up dying right here. I wasn't really anticipating what he was going to do. I wasn't used to fighting him in first person mode. I guess all my time playing 9 didn't prepare me for this or something. But he'll also spawn eggs which hatch into these Nova Crawlers, which of course are very annoying as they slow you down and could smack you pretty quickly. This area doesn't have anything too interesting in it. As you saw, a big red gem before, and also these key chests that you could open. Good opportunity for points, but again, nothing too out of the ordinary, nothing that makes you really want to go this way, I would say. But the reason I'm taking my time to kill the Blightfather is because with one of the recent patches, these underbosses actually will drop some loot when you kill them here in the wild. So it's definitely, I think, worth it to shoot them and hope that they drop maybe a key or something like that. Also some spikes that you got to be aware of, and some boxes to the right of me, as you can see. I'm sort of waiting to open these chests. I think I just opened the chest right now. Figured the Blightfather is pretty low health. I'll be able to kill him here soon and then collect on the treasure as well. My plan doesn't end up working too well though, as I believe I end up dying by the crawlers once the Blightfather is laid to rest. So the Blightfather's dead. As you can see, he dropped some stuff. Nothing really too great that he dropped, unfortunately. And the crawlers were my demise. So just going to quickly swoop up stuff here and break that box. Nothing really too interesting. Now my goal is to get out of here and progress even more. I probably shouldn't have even wasted time shooting the Blightfather. But, you know, that's just with hindsight, knowing that he didn't give me a key. So now there's a bridge area, also a little hidden pathway here to the left. The game will kick you out of first person at this point, and you'll have a bunch of chickens here. A good opportunity for the Foul 5-piece trophy / achievement. And it just converges with the bridge area. So now you keep going north, and you'll come across some barrels and some fire-spitting dragons. Just go under the dragons, pretty easy. I don't know if that was intentional, because this seems like a really, easy place to go through. But you'll usually have a first-person drop there, I believe. And just keep making your way north. And there'll actually be a little drop-off area here to the right that I'm looking at. And this is an area you could drop off, and there'll be a chest below you. Not that you want to do it, because you could get stuck then. But what you're seeing down here is the area next to the elephant, if you take the other path. So the wild is all connected. You could hypothetically go down there and face the elephant and try progressing the other path then, if you wanted to. But I spent the key to open a door, and now I'm opening another door, and now I'm making my way slowly to the volcano area. Over here, these crawlers are actually the crawler heads that you'll see next to the blue altar when you play typically with the other passage. So right now I'm making my way to the altar, although it looks a bit weird because it's like daytime, and I'm looking at the altar in first person, which probably some of you guys are not used to. But basically, if you're taking the other path, right, that I mentioned, the other door, you would come to this altar as well and have the opportunity to even go down and open the doors by the Nova Crawlers. If that makes any sense. Anyways, hitting a dungeon here. This is the only dungeon you'll hit if you take this path, other than the opening one. Nothing really too interesting, so I'm nothing really too interesting, excuse me, so I'm out of there. And luckily I have a key, so I'm gonna feed it to the blue altar. Also a stepping stone there that you could elevate your teammates at the bottom of the volcano if you're taking the other path. And make my way east through the bridge. You could usually get by those spikes actually, even if they're active. It's kind of weird, but I wouldn't advise doing it. Sometimes it seems to bug out. So, not much to say here. Just take your time shooting these spawns. You don't want to get slowed down by the Nova gas, although the slowdown period is usually pretty low, about 6 seconds. So even if it happens, it's not the end of the world. I believe the perma-slow bug did get fixed, but don't quote me on that. And here we got the werewolf guard in the top of the volcano. Again, just take your time. Use some armory if you have. He has a pretty far lunged attack. And sometimes you can sort of get him in a spot where he's kind of glitched out, where he's standing still, and he'll constantly regen his health, which isn't a big deal if he regens it, because he's not regenning it at a rate that's greater than what you're shooting him with. So right here, he's sort of standing still, and I'll be able to kill him here in a few seconds. Although he does regen more health on co-op, but of course that would be offsetted by the fact that you have more people shooting him, hopefully. Unless you're the only one shooting him in a 4-player match, in which case, you know, you're not gonna get the job done. So, like the Blightfather, he'll drop some goodies. Present box. Oh, I wonder what I'll get here. Spiders. I'm getting the hell out of there. So, up here, once you kill the werewolf, this purple obstacle will be able to be cleared. And you drop down the hole for the Room of Fate. I made a Room of Fate guide if you want to check that out. Let you know which Fate Stone is which. Not much to say there. I think we're just going to skip ahead to the other path. So now we're showing a different game where I take the north passageway. Remember I said you could go left or up. Now I'm going to go up. And this is the one that a lot of players take, including myself. A lot of more opportunities for keys. So right now I have 0 keys, right? So I'm not too concerned about that though, because there's a lot of opportunities to find them here on this path. And an opportunity to explore 2 additional dungeons, unlock the Kaboom room, and unlock the Dark Crypt bonus area as well. So right now I'm going to make my way left here. Be careful of these spikes. Actually, I'm going to take I'm going to divert and go south next to the gladiators, I believe. Because sometimes you'll see a key spawn over here. Or even if you don't see a key spawn, you know, it's worth, I think, collecting on some of these barrels and seeing what's inside the chest. The couple of chests that you see in this area. So again, just take your time. You don't want to take a dumb death from these gladiators. They're pretty tanky when you have a normal gun, but definitely doable. Couple of spikes here, so be careful when you walk through this area. And in this room over here is a chest, a barrel, and sometimes a mech as well. A mech vehicle. Gonna make my way north, and there's gonna be one final chest for me to open, and a few barrels as well. Okie dokie. Now gonna make my way back north. 2 spikes here as well, so 2 spikes here and 2 spikes below me. So making my way north, my next goal is probably hitting the Dark Crypt bonus area. Or maybe I decide actually to open this little weapon box here and shoot the 6-arm guy, another underboss. So I'm going to hop in first person, grab these ray guns, and try to inflict as much damage as possible on this 6-arm boss. Sometimes you can bug him out a bit where he's sort of stuck in a location and you could shoot him, and it's a lot easier to do it that way. I'm going to go back to the ray guns and get purple ray gun, which will do more damage and fire quicker. He has 2 attacks. One right here is where he blast shields you. So if you hide behind an object like I just did, you'll be safe. And he has the one where he throws a spear. Just, you could dodge that one pretty easily. I like to shoot his feet as it doesn't hit his shield, although maybe with better aim you could hit him in the upper area as well. So, just about killed him. Yeah, he's dead at this point. Very bad loot dropped in this case, but sometimes he drops a key, so I think it's worth killing him. And now I'm gonna go this way toward another chest. Normally I wouldn't advise going here. I'm just sort of showing it for the sake of the video again. Not really worth the time it takes to go over here. You'll usually have 2 gladiators as well over here. But little key chest, or a little regular chest that I just opened. And next on the chopping block is to go to the Dark Crypt bonus area. I guess not actually. It's to grab this free life under the bridge that I don't need. There will be spikes underneath. They won't kill you. My camera kicked me out of first person there. I thought I died for some reason. But collect these boosted nukes if you need them. Just be careful of the spikes. And go back down this way. Also be careful of the electric poles when you're in first person mode. They can actually kill you in one hit in the wild when you're in first person. I imagine that's a bug. Maybe it's addressed at some point. But here we got the Dark Crypt bonus area. There are going to be some ghosts that usually charge you here. And also some spiders at the bottom of each steps. Sometimes you got to angle yourself at such a position to where you can shoot them correctly. So definitely be cautious. Don't try to rush it and end up getting killed by a spider. Same thing with these skeleton dudes. Sometimes they could be a bit deceiving. You think they're weak, but really they overpower you sometimes and just kill you. So we got some key chests down here, or I keep calling them key chests. We got some regular treasure chests to open. Sometimes you'll have key chests located here, but you definitely have key chests in the top left and top right, as seen right now, and also a regular chest right here that I'm opening. So the key chests below me are nice if you're doing a 7 multiplier challenge, or if you're in the later rounds and you're looking for some points. It says remaining time about 2 minutes. If the timer goes down, it doesn't kill you, it just kicks you out of the bonus room, if you guys were curious about that. So I'm going to make my way north, and now this is another opportunity to get the Foul 5-piece trophy by collecting 5 of these chickens. There's 6 chickens here, you only need 5. The 6th chicken will actually just get rid of one of yours. You can only have a maximum of 5 chickens, so I just left it there. If you're playing co-op, leave one there for your friend. Don't grab them all because they're not all going to work for you. So we got a zombie head spawn, want to clear it. And also have another 6 arms guy underboss. I have a bunch of chickens, so he should go down pretty quickly, especially with this death machine that I have. And there he goes. So I just boosted for boost there because I had 9. And I guess there's another one or something. But these gems over here, as some viewers pointed out in my 7 times calling card challenge, you could just jump to get them. You don't got to go in the spring pad. I had about 10 different people tell me that, and believe me, I learned my lesson. So over here, make sure you don't hit the poles in first person. I made the mistake of doing that once. You can take this little spring pad for the extra life if you want. Make sure you hit the ledge though, because there might be some full damage associated with it. And I also collected a flashlight as well, so you could toggle that with the left on the D-pad. Some people ask, what does before I get into that. Take the spring pad, use a boost, get those gems, shortcut to get to the Kaboom room. And you avoid going through the floggers, which sometimes glitch out. Which brings you to the Kaboom room, which has 12 nukes in it, very helpful, unlocks it as a room later on, which is great, and it's good way to build your armory for co-op, especially in the early rounds. So you could go down here and you'll actually see another pressure plate that you could utilize. On co-op, one guy stands on it, and then the lift goes down, then he steps off it, the lift goes up with the player could collect on the first person drop. There's a spring pad you could take, use a boost to get to those gems I got earlier, and you can actually land in the gem little thing and collect the chickens there as well. Not really worth it, nothing, you know, chickens and gems, whoop-de-doo sort of thing, right? I use the nuke to get through the flogger because of the glitch where it sometimes kills you, so just keep that in mind. And as I was saying earlier, what was I saying earlier? I was going to say something about the gem town, but I think I already forgot what I was going to say there. So we're anyways going to the, technically the second dungeon. By the way, these dungeons are named after Treyarch devs, like Tarampi or Tarampi, and Chamorro, and Ayers, and Dorta. Those are all Treyarch devs. I imagine they had some sort of relation to DUA in some capacity. I believe Chamorro was someone who worked on some of the level design, especially for the wild. Just something worth noting. Over here we got the elephant underboss, or not really an underboss, just a boss of sorts. And a dog head spawn down here. Be careful, sometimes the dogs get glitched out. These death machines are very helpful for killing the elephants, so collect them. You'll also have a key spawn here sometimes. Oh yeah, I was going to say the flashlight. Some people ask me, what is the flashlight used for, Rambo? It's like, well, what is it used for in real life? You just, you get a little light, right? You know, there's nothing more to it. Apparently, I think the dungeons were supposed to be darker before the game released. And that's, you know, the flashlights would have made more sense in that build. But I think it got tweaked a bit. So I killed the elephant. And make sure you don't shoot these cars sometimes. When you shoot the elephant, sometimes people blow up their cars. I like the cars. It's a good way to get to the next point very quickly. I'm going to take a little divergence here and show you some other places here. You could sort of do laps with your car here. And there's actually an opportunity to park your car on a pressure plate. Oh, by the way, Nuke and a first person right next to me. There's a chance to park your car on the pressure plate so you could collect on the white gem in this locked room. On co-op, of course, you just have someone sit on it and you're good to go. So I'm actually going to change, I'm showing different gameplay right now of where I parked it and collected the gem. Now we're going to go to another gameplay where I show you another path that I sort of forgot to take. So right here, freeze frame, take a right, and you'll see a door that you need to use a key on to get a free life. Of course, key for a free life, not worth it, so I'm not going to do that. Anyways, back to the normal gameplay. Taking my car straight north to this door, open it, go through, make sure you don't die by the trap, go west, and you got a dog spawn over here. Just be careful. If you want, you can collect the gold here, but be careful. There are electric poles that sometimes blend in with the treasure, and also some ground spikes as well. So we got 4 chests over here, and also the opportunity to upgrade 3 weapons, the ray gun, death machine, and rocket launcher. Also a potential key spawn where I just was as well. So once you do that, you could collect this gold like I said if you want. I'm going to make my way east. If you want, you could also kill the elephant below you, but it's sort of a bit risky at times. He might stomp and somehow kill you with his attack, or a spider gets launched from him and blends in with the ground. So I'm not going to bother killing him. I'm feeling pretty confident about my keys. I have really 3 more key location spawns, really. One up top, one at the bottom, and one in this dungeon that I'm about to enter. I'm just going to quickly peek here, see what key situation I have. Okay, I have 1 key in the bottom right. I'll keep that in mind. I'm going to drop down this hole to the 3rd deadly dungeon. Grottes de la Dorta. I like saying that name. And nothing really to see here, so I'm out of here. Worth knowing that Nosferatus are exclusive to the dungeon, so if you're trying to do the exceptional trophy room challenge, you'll have to kill one of the Nosferatus there. A couple of speed boosts. I don't need them right now. I'm maxed out, but I'm going to quickly go here. Kill the warden. You don't need to kill him always, but sometimes he damages you, and that can mess up maybe some of your full damage maneuvers. So grab the first person, run over to this next rock, use the spring pad to land here. Make sure you don't land on the spring pad. You don't want to trigger it and then wait again. So then use that spring pad, land. You'll take some full damage in first person, but it won't kill you. So go on the spring pad, jump, count to 2, use a boost, and you're over here. So a key chest here that I could use. I don't need to. I have 3 keys. That's all I need. I'm in pretty good shape. I'm going to go collect those speed boosts. Maybe I did already. I guess I kind of just forgot about them or something. Anyways, I'm going to open this door. And there's going to be another key door up ahead as well. So normally, if you take the teleporter right away in the wild, you'll be in this room once you complete round 20 and you teleport to the wild. But by doing this here early in the game, we won't hit any more wilds until after round 60, which is the final one. So right there, Opened my last door that I need to open. Now I'm in the volcano. There's sort of a boost method you could do here to go quickly up, but I'm going to save my boost. Sometimes it doesn't work exactly as planned. Some players might have trouble doing it. I think I'm just going to progress naturally and show as much of the volcano as possible. So over here we got anywhere from 0 to 2 extra lives you could obtain. You could stay in this little area and have your teammates on co-op bring you up with the stepping stone next to the blue altar. Or you could get those lives on solo or co-op via another way, which I'll show you here shortly. Not much to say here, just keep making your way up the volcano. Always be vigilant of some of these pesky spawns. Sometimes they'll spawn real close to sort of the wall or the edge of the volcano, and it could sort of hamper your movement when you least expect it. Got the fireballs here. Your boxing gloves could actually deflect fireballs. The Megaton over here as well. His once a Megaton is killed, he splits, and he has like 2 Megaton splits. Those count as different enemies when doing the exceptional trophy room challenge. Just FYI, you could go through the side of the flogger like I just did without dying, even while it's active. Collect a free life, shoot these skeletons, and up ahead we have a little shortcut trick. Go underneath. I'm going to eliminate the warden just for safety. Go underneath these dragon heads, flip your camera right on the D-pad, and build some momentum, use a speed boost, and you land here. Collect these extra lives. And there's also a spring pad here you can use. Hold back on your stick a bit when you use it so you don't collide with the wall. Flip your camera back to the default, or at least that's what I do. And over here, actually, if I keep going south, I'll actually hit the other path that I had before. But I would have to open doors, you know, to get there. So I could eventually, hypothetically, make my way back to the Blightfather by going south. So we're going to drop in, oh, this is a little pressure plate, by the way, if someone stood at the bottom of the volcano to collect the free lives. And you're going to drop in the 4th and final dungeon.
Deadly dungeon.
I guess I'm going to quickly see what's going on here. Probably enter a Nosferatu room just to show you these enemies from Dead of the Night. So it's up to you if you want to explore the dungeon. Sometimes you'll have some good stuff in here. Or even sometimes you might have a Fate Stone, which maybe you wouldn't see when you're at the very beginning of the dungeon. It might be hard to see sort of those octagonal rooms sometimes if they're on the opposite end. And it's worth noting also that the Margro spawn rate increased with the December 15th update. So you'll be seeing them more often, even on solo. I don't have exact percentages, but it is in fact increased. So over here, a flogger, you know, not bothering. I'm going to get out of here. Some of these rooms have some decent chests, a good opportunity to build a multiplier. But all in all, probably not worth it to explore these dungeons, in my opinion. So I'm out of here. So I have 1 key left, fortunately. I'm going to spend it on the blue altar. On solo and 2-player games, you only need 1 key to reveal the stones with the blue altar. 3-player and 4-player games, you need 2 keys. Just as I did earlier in the video, you just go east through the bridge, and you'll eventually, of course, make your way to the werewolf. I'll be showing the gameplay up until the Room of Fate. Just sort of want to make a video showing the full wild and all the little rooms in it, and the pathing that you might want to take when going in either direction. In this playthrough of going up, I didn't die at all. I have a 6x score multiplier. The other one, unfortunately, I died a couple times with the Blightfather. But all in all, I think it was a pretty sort of, you know, productive pathing in both ends. Not a speed run by any means. I want to show each little area. And by the way, this werewolf got absolutely wrecked by my rocket box that I picked up. He was just blown to smithereens within mere seconds. But anyways, gonna make my way up the volcano, of course. Looking good, 969. And gonna drop down the hole to enter the Room of Fate. Again, I have a Room of Fate guide. I even just made an updated guide which is shorter and contains info about the 6 Fate Stones update. So again, definitely check that out if you need help distinguishing the fate stones from each other. That about wraps up the video. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to drop a like. Thanks for watching.